Today, so I need to put a little bit of makeup on this face. Makeup always makes me feel a little bit more like polished and pulled together. Today's a little difficult of a day for me, as sadly it is the due date of the first miscarriage that we had this year. So I've got lots of different feelings going on today, and on days when I feel like things are out of my control, those are the days in particular that I do a little bit of extra makeup, just because that is something that I can control. It also helps me feel polished and pulled together. So if you're ever in a season where things are just rough. I mean, let's be real. We've all kind of been in that season for the past 2-ish years almost now at this point, right? It helps me. And so if it's something that can help you, I would love to help you feel more confident and creative when it comes to your makeup. Do me a favor and pop a hashtag hello lovely down in the comments below. It's your little way to give me a high five, a wave, a hug over the internet. Then I could see who's checking on in. It always helps because sometimes Facebook is silly and I don't know who's there and who's not. But it really makes a big difference. So come on and keep me company as I get things ready. I do want you to know that I've got a couple of great specials going on at minutewithmary.com. Everything you're going to see me apply today is available at that website. I have already put some primer on my face. So primer fills in fine lines, fills in pores, creates a beautiful barrier so your skincare can do what it needs to do without getting all mixed up in your foundation. But you do want to make sure that your primer goes on your face and has a couple of minutes to really set and do what it needs to do. So I have been using what I like to call a setting spray sandwich. My skin this time of year, just hormonally, it's a little more oily right now. So I do setting spray, I let that dry, I put on some mattifying primer, I let that sit for a few minutes, then I put a little setting spray on top. As I said, I call it my setting spray sandwich. It works wonders for me. But while that primer and setting spray is doing what it needs to do, I'm going to go ahead and work on my eyes. Hi Hannah, hi Sandy, thank you so much for tuning in, my friends. What are you up to this week? So I'm going to be doing a couple of different little get-togethers. Today is actually my mom's birthday, which I think made it like happier and sadder and all these different things, being, as I said, it was the first pregnancy that we lost. Today was the due date for it. So I was really excited to kind of have the due date be my mom's birthday. But on the flip side, I am thankful that I get to have also a happy, momentous reason for today rather than just kind of being in the pit of my own despair. Um, yeah, this year's been a toughie. It's been a doozy. Hi Stevie, how are you? It's just been a doozy. But it's nothing that I can't handle, but it's been a lot. So we're just, taking things one step at a time. But we are going to be celebrating my mom later today. And tonight I'm actually going to be leading another training for my corporate team, which I'm really pumped about. And they were so cute. They were like, what do you want the theme to be? Because a lot of people have been doing different trainings and they do different themes. Like one was a Wednesday, so they did that whole pink. Like on Wednesdays we wear pink from Mean Girls. One person did like sports teams, so everyone wore like their local jerseys. Mine is going to be Harry Potter, so I thought that was kind of cute. People will be dressing in their house colors and stuff. All right, I am going to do a fun eye look. I'm going to be rocking the shade Business Like. So it's just this nice little fun pink shade right here. Pink shades are great, particularly for those of you who are kind of on the newer side of wearing your makeup. You don't necessarily want to wear too much color. It's a nice little transition if you're just used to wearing like soft browns and nude colors. If you want to expand a little bit, I often recommend that people start off with like a little light pink. It's just very feminine. It's generally easy to blend. You can kind of use it with those other kind of colors that I was talking about. And the great thing with these liquid eyeshadows is that you can use your finger. You can really just use your finger and blend it. For bolder shades, darker shades, you may want to use some kind of a blending brush. But this one, like right here, this is the shade Business Like. You can just pat it and it's good to go. So we're going to be rocking and rolling, doing some podcasting today, of course. Of course, right? So that's what I do in addition to hanging out with you here, doing the makeup or doing the mom thing. I just love to podcast. So really thankful. There's a lot to be thankful for, even in seasons of struggle. So I want to thank all of you here who've been tuning in and keeping me company, or for your well wishes just during this year, just because it's been a doozy. It has definitely been a doozy. All right, so we've got a little bit of that eyeshadow going on. Now, when you use my liquid eyeshadows, I know the word liquid often makes people think it's going to get all kind of like oily and clumpy in their creases of their eyelids. I have slightly hooded eyes, so that does not happen. I want you to rest assured it dries almost like to a powder-like finish, and it does last all day. So I really appreciate that and need it. I am going to be using my new liquid foundation. This has skincare built inside of it. It has sodium hyaluronate, which is going to help your skin look plumper, which, hey, I know I can use that at this point. Goodness gracious. So you can do more of a medium to a fuller coverage. It is buildable. Give it a good old shake though, because it does have that skincare built inside. And then this top, you're going to see when you open it, boop, it's going to pop up that dispenser. Helps it perfectly sit on, put the amount of product inside here. So I'm going to just try something a little different. I saw a couple people put a little drops right on their skin. I know like the young YouTubers do that, but I do have prime skin. I just wanted to kind of try this out. I have been applying this product with just a damp blending bud. I find that it presses it really naturally into my skin. So when you're using different makeup products, try different tools and see what works for you. If you're someone who has a lot of texture or pores or scarring, and you find that your makeup isn't necessarily melding into your skin, if it looks like it's more like sitting on it, I'm going to suggest that maybe you use a damp blending bud and press it, particularly with this kind of foundation. You can also use a kabuki brush for this. Hi, Kristen. What are you up to? So another way that I do this is I put a couple drops just on the back of my hand and I dab that blending bud in there. When you're applying this, you want to start on the areas that need the most product first and then blend that out. So I'm going to be doing more of a medium to fuller coverage today. As I said, I am going to be kind of like doing some stuff on camera, leading some training. So for me, as much as I love my freckles, I'm still going to let some of them shine. I do want to kind of tone down my skin as it is a little bit patchy today. And as I'm not feeling particularly great today, just with everything being, just a Debbie Downer day for me. I kind of want to even some things out. So you can see I've got that nice natural Celtic flush to my skin. I am kind of canceling it out a little bit with this foundation, but I will be going in and doing a little bit with some blush and bronzer to warm things up. So we're just going to kind of go to town, add it where I need it, and then I'll blend it back out. So this is my base face bundle came today. Yay! Oh my gosh, awesome. And you got this foundation, right? I'm so excited to hear your thoughts. So definitely play with the different brushes. They're each going to give you different coverages and everything. But as I said, this is kind of how I'm loving it, just with this damp blending bud. It's all just trial and error, finding out what works for you. But this foundation does have skincare built inside, which I absolutely love. Blend a little bit down your neck. When you really start off and you put most of the product in the middle of your face and you blend it out towards your hairline, to your jawline, that's really going to help you give that natural look without it looking like you have a mask of makeup on. So what I do is I really kind of match closer to my neck, as I don't want my face, like if I were to match down here, my décolletage, which is really, really, really darker and pinker, my face would look like I had a mask on, and then I'd have to be painting my neck. I don't want you to have to do that, okay? My opinion is match closer to your neck, and then you can add a little bit of bronzer and blush to warm it up without necessarily looking like you have a mask of makeup on. All right, so we've got some nice medium coverage going on. I am going to brighten my eye area a hot second, so I'm taking a lighter concealer shade. When you're brightening around your eyes, you want to do 1 to 2 shades lighter, and that will help kind of brighten that area up. Not doing anything too wild, and I am going to use that damp blending bud, as I did add a little extra product that I needed. Little light. If you need concealer to conceal acne or scarring or age spots, you're going to want to use the same shade as your foundation. If you're using it to brighten underneath your eyes, you might want like 1 shade lighter. If you only are in the market to buy 1 concealer, but you need it to do both, you need both, spots and acne or age spots, and for your darkness under your eyes, I will suggest that you do the regular shade of your foundation at first, okay, if you only are going to get 1. But if your main goal is to brighten, you go lighter. If your main goal is to cover, you do the same shade. You do have blending buds. Do you wash yours after each use, or do it every few days? Wash these after each use. And honestly, they're so cheap. You can, generally get them at, Target or anything like that. If you use the blending bud every single day, I'd almost toss it once a week, like get rid of it. Some people spend a lot of money on blending buds. I don't. I mean, they're sponges. So to me, I don't want to kind of keep that sponge around too awfully long. So use it for a little while. I don't use that blending bud every single day, so I keep mine a little bit longer. But if I were to use it to apply my makeup every day, I probably would, I'd wash it every day. Because you want to get it damp anyway, so that's kind of when I'm washing it, is while I'm getting it wet. So I just kind of put a little bit of cleansing soap on it, get it all through there, get it good to go, and then rinse it out, and by that process, it is then cleaned. But you don't keep them forever, that's for sure. Unlike your brushes, which you can clean and reuse for a very, very long time, your makeup sponges you do not want to keep too awfully long, which is why they're cheap. Sandy says, I wanted to buy the foundation bundle. Can you help me, or should I go to your website? Sandy, have we color matched you before? I forget. I don't have the ability to check my phone right now to see if you're perfectly color matched. But if we already did color match you and you know what type and what products you'd like, then you can certainly go to minutewithmary.com. It's going to be a primer, a concealer, a foundation, and setting product of your choice. You can also upgrade to the Foundation Plus, which includes a face brush and then an additional powder or a stick foundation. If you don't know what type or what colors, just let me know. Just send me a message. Sending me a message is the most direct way, and then I can help you decide which products are best for you. I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush. So already you see that kind of bronzer helped add a little bit of warmth. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of that flush. So when you do want to kind of tone down the flush of your face, you still, when you have that more medium to fuller coverage, you still may want to go back in with a little bit of blush. It sounds counterintuitive if you're like, I'm trying to get rid of the pink in my face. Well, you already did with the foundation. So now you need to add a little bit of that color back, so that way you don't look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. You're going to look like a one-dimensional, painting almost. But when you add that color in, it's going to add that dimension and warmth and life back to your face. So I'm kind of doing on the top part of my cheekbones. I bring it a little bit above my brow. Particularly, it's the end of summer, so I'm still a little bit outside. I even have been putting a little bit on the tip of my nose, kind of like where the sun would be hitting my face. The sun would be hitting here. Even though I'm wearing sunscreen, I'm protecting my face. I'm almost making it look like I have this summer flush going on, which I like. I know it's not everybody's jam, but I'm a fan. So for me, to add the flush where, just in this kind of area on my face, I like versus having my whole face be flushed, particularly when I'm on camera and stuff. And this is just a clean brush, just to kind of blend out any harsh edges. All right, so we've got that going on. Now I'm going to set my face with a little bit of setting powder. This is going to make sure that it finishes as a matte finish. You can set with a powder. You can set with a setting spray. If you're someone who wants a really matte finish, you don't want to have like a shiny finish, I definitely would suggest a setting powder. If you're someone who has texture, so large pores, scarring, things like that, I find that the setting powder works the best. Setting powder also, I feel like, works the best under masks. So if you're in an area that you have to wear a mask, or if you want to wear a mask from time to time, the setting powder, I think, works the best. The setting spray is great for those who want to continue to have like a dewy finish to their makeup. Both of them make sure that your makeup stays on nice and long. All right. So I kind of just give this a one little tap, make sure that it's all blended in. Gonna go through and brush out these brows. If you need to add your brows in with a little bit of makeup, this is when you do it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to have a busy day today, just to kind of have my mind be off of things. I don't know if any of you are like that, but for me, just kind of on tough days, on rough days, fill it up with seeing people, fill it up with meetings that bring me joy, make me feel productive. It's not that I don't want to think about rough things, but on the day of, I would prefer to not. I'll just be real. It's kind of how I am. Hi, Anne. Anne has to purchase an order for some other stuff today, but for this new serum foundation, should I stay close to my usual foundation color, Honey? So Honey is your BB cream color, Anne. So if you've ever used the new pressed powder, or the stick foundation, or your concealer, whatever of those products matched your face, I would suggest you get for the new serum foundation. If you want me to color match you now, Anne, now that you spent some time in Scotland and the sun may be hitting you a little differently, you can totally send me a picture. Just remember, I need to see like this much of you. Okay, so makeup free, neck, a little bit of the chest, and we can do a new color match for you. But if you, on the other hand, know what your shade is, like if you have any of the other products, it will match the old liquid foundation. So if you ever tried that and you found a color that you liked, it will be the same as that. It will be the same as the stick or spray, because I think you had the stick, Anne. And the newer pressed foundation. So the new pressed foundation, I believe, just came out last year. My older pressed foundations were a tad on the light side, but the newer ones, it matches. So if any of those strike your fancy, or a concealer, it will be that same shade. And if not, I can totally color match you. And yeah, I'm loving this foundation. I'm personally liking setting it with setting powder, even the prime and set powder. Hannah says, in the same way, busy days are good for getting through the tough ones. Yes. And as I said, it's not that I'm not acknowledging that today's a tough day. It's just I'd rather kind of fill it with some things that are bringing me joy and helping me feel good. So there we have it. Nice, simple, feminine look. I'm going to head on out the door and start the rest of these meetings. But I just wanted to thank you so much for hanging on out, keeping me company. If you do have any questions about the Flawless 4 bundle, it is only available in September. It gets you the primer, concealer, foundation, and setting product bundled together at 31% off. I do this only about once a year. It really gets you everything you need for your base face. So I hope that helps. If you have questions, shoot me a message, and I will talk with you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.